What is up, guys? I'm back again with yet another video. I just want to discuss a few concepts of supply and demand with you. All right, so we all know that the market is really driven by supply and demand. Basically, when a market is going up, for instance, as you can see in this area, it is basically demand coming into the market, which drives the market to go upwards until it is met by a pocket of supply, which makes the market go downwards. So with that information, we could definitely use that to our advantage. For instance, we want to look for an area where price is likely to turn so that we can make entries, right? So as you can see, this is the volatility 75 on the daily time frame. I can place this line here. Why am I placing this line here? Because obviously there was a wick left here. And it's a key area in the sense that the price is likely, even though it's been going up like this, it's likely to turn because of previous data. These 3-day wicks here show us that there's resistance right there, right? Okay, cool. Now with that being said, we go into the lower time frame so that we can take advantage of this supply and demand strategy I'll be teaching you today so that you make proper entries. So now going into our key area, you can see that the market was being driven up by the demand. So you want to always locate the last point of demand before your key area. And the last point of demand would be this line here. If you're not too sure what supply and demand is, how to locate it on your charts, I suggest you watch videos on that. So if you do know, then you understand what I'm saying right now. So this is the last point of demand till our key area was hit. So we're expecting fresh supply in here. How do we enter the market then? So we only start looking to sell this market when we know that this demand has been depleted, i.e. that the market is now turning around, all right? So as you can see, the demand prompted the market to go into our key area, and then it was met with that supply, and it came back to that demand because there's still buying orders here, right? The buyers pushed the market up until here and failed, met the pocket of demand again, tried to push it up, and failed. These are all signs of buying weakness. So our last point of demand is getting depleted. How do we know that it's getting depleted? At first, the market managed to push to this level, right? Second time, it only managed this. Third time, it only managed this. This is a key sign that our buyers in here are getting exhausted by the suppliers coming from our key area, right? So when do we enter the market? Basically, you want to enter the market when we have a proper signal that the supply has finally overcome this demand. The signal is right here, a candle close right here. This shows that yes, the supply and demand were fighting in this region, as you can see, but finally the suppliers have won. So what you want to do is then you place your sell entries here, and then you put your stops above this last key high here. And then you watch the market fall. It falls and falls and falls. It's like this everywhere. Anyone who's been following like the few videos that I've done knows that I'm basically always selling the market, and I have my own reasons for consistency. And like I've mentioned before, I want to train my eye to look for one thing. Okay, so let's look at another chart. Let's see if we can spot this same thing. Okay, cool. This is the H4 chart on the volatility 50S. We can see right here. Okay, this is the H4 chart, like I said. There are 2 wicks left here. So in this region, obviously, we're expecting, sorry, let me just lock the line. In this region, we're expecting for price to turn because of this previous data. Remember, what happens in the market is kind of likely to happen the next time, right? So that's how we get clues. It's all about finding these clues, make a story so that we can take advantage of that story and make money. That's the whole point, right? So yeah, in this region, we scale down. Let's look for if we have any pockets of demand being depleted on our way down. Okay, let's go to the M15. Right. Okay, great. So now, as you can see, we want to locate the last point of demand, like I told you, after price has hit our key area. This is the last point of demand, right? Why is this the last point of demand? Because price was lingering here, and then it pushed up into our area where we had identified that we would be meeting fresh and strong supply. When it pushed up, it got into this area and it was prompted down impulsively. But look at this example here. the price literally just went through this fresh last point of demand like there's no one here. These buyers were completely beaten like they're nobody. This is like merciless from the suppliers in this example, right? So there's a candle close here, right? We always wait for that candle close underneath the last point of demand, and then we make our entries. So for this example, your stops could just definitely be above this area that you've outlined as your point, your last point of demand, and you watch the market fall. Of course, you might have just a little bit of drawdown, but I mean, honestly speaking, on the 15-minute time frame, this is nothing, you know, this is nothing. And you can confidently just relax knowing that the market will follow suit and go down in your favor. Look at all of this. These are profits, guys. You know, what I'm telling you, like I always emphasize, is like, these are the key gems that people are really excluding in, in their YouTube videos. So yeah, I have nothing to lose. I'll share with you how to confidently kill the markets. Right. Another example here. Right. This is definitely a key area. This line indicates a key area. Why? Because look at this wick left here, wick left here, wick left here, wick left here. So when the price got into this area, we could have just been on our lower time frames, looking at our last point of demand. We want to see what's happening to our last point of demand. If it gets beaten, then we know we're entering the market, right? So this is our last point of demand. I mean, we can all see this, right? We can all see that right here is our last point of demand. Why? Because price was prompted to go up from this region. It came back. There were still buyers willing to take the market up, but our fresh suppliers in our area that we have identified on the higher time frame will always overpower them. It's just now we need to know when to enter, right? They came back, they tried to buy until they were depleted, all right? So this is our entry right here, right? We sell the market, and where are our stops? Right above. You can actually maybe put it above the last high, but just make sure you just give it breathing room, because the only reason why it comes back like this is because it's meeting fresh demand here. Can you see? This is like demand here. So they'll be trying to push the market up. But once this last point of demand has been depleted, right? You're in for it. You know for a fact that the market will be tumbling down. So you want to enter when we are now for certain that this demand has been beaten. And you, like, another thing is, if you can see a little struggle here when price comes back into this area, it's a good thing, so that we are nicely sure that there's nothing going on here and that they fought the battle and the suppliers have beat the demand in here, and then we can go. Now, when it comes to risk to reward for this strategy, it's just remarkable, man. You're not going to get more reward than this when comparing to your risk. I mean, even if you put your stop losses here, which I do not do, look at the reward. Look at all of this. These are profits, you know? So basically that's it, man. Today, I don't really want to take so much of your time. I just thought I'd share with you this. And obviously on the demand side of things, if you're a buyer of the market, it's basically the inverse. But like I've said, I only focus on shorting the market, and I have my own reasons for that. I'll be definitely uploading more videos, just sharing my journey. And yeah, I think I want to actually also go live trading, so that you see that the making money in the markets is very, 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 very possible. And it's just a matter of the right mentorship, which I do offer. Make sure to hit me up, subscribe as well if you want to see more of my content, but hit me up on my WhatsApp. I will be leaving the details in the description. Hit me up and then we can take it from there. Anyways, cheers guys, enjoy.